Well, we've covered what a PC Master Race member, a PC Master Racist if you will, is in the last show. One that doesn't seem to be all that popular because people have told me I talk too fast. So I'll try in this show to talk slower so all the console peasants can understand. That being said, this is the top 7 signs you may be a console peasant. A show dedicated to highlighting the signs that you, yes, even you watching this show, may be in your heart of hearts an actual console peasant. But fear not, for there is still hope for you. There is still a sliver of a chance that you may one day be cured. So if any of the following signs describe you in any way, take action. That being said, let's get it started with number 7. You believe that PCs are for spreadsheets. You've heard this argument before. You have used this argument before, that PCs are just tools, are something you find in an office. They're not something to be used for entertainment or for video games. No, they're just things you use to do spreadsheets and taxes and work on your presentation for the office. It's not something that you can enjoy yourself at because a PC is always standing on a desk and you always have to stand in an uncomfortable chair in order to be able to use it. And why do PCs even have graphics cards? I mean, they're just used for spreadsheets. It's not like they need the horsepower like they're used for games or programming or video rendering or everything else that PCs do. But still, the main idea is that these are office tools. It's not like you can put a PC anywhere in a room and play on it from literally any place in that room because wireless technology and cables that are longer than 1 meter are a thing that exists. No. PCs are just for spreadsheets, as far as you know, or at least as far as you tell people on forums on the internet and on Facebook. Number 6. You believe a lower frame rate is better and a lot of other crap. You're the kind of people that when they see an argument about higher frame rate being better, you butt in and say, well, no, a higher frame rate is not better. It is detrimental to the gaming experience because that's what the PR, that's what the marketing people at some company that can't make a game that actually works well told me. And you believe them because they used words like cinematic experience in Hollywood. You're the kind of person that probably believes that the human eye cannot see more than 24 frames a second. Sometimes not even that. Why don't they make games run at 15 frames a second? I mean, just imagine it. It would be twice as cinematic. It would be almost photographic. And that's not the only thing you believe. You also believe things like Skyrim was the first open world game. Halo invented the first-person shooter. Mass Effect was the first sci-fi game. You believe all these things because you have no frame of reference on account of not actually caring about anything, yet still deciding to have a very strong opinion about the subject. Sort of like sports, politics, immigration, reproductive rights, gun control, and of course, frame rate. Number 5. You believe all games work flawlessly on consoles. It's sort of like the Mac effect. You know that everything runs perfectly on a Mac. A Mac does not have viruses. A Mac does not crash. You would buy a Mac for video production because you know it will work perfectly. Never mind that I've been using PCs to do the same thing for about 7 years and not even good PCs. Do you know how hard it is to render, to even edit full HD video on a 1GB Athlon 64? It's impossible, but still doable. But to get back to the main idea, you believe that on PCs, games all have problems. They crash. You need to update the drivers. You need to constantly scan for viruses. There are hackers everywhere. You know that PCs are just horrible. Games work horribly on PCs but are flawless on consoles. I mean, just look at Batman Arkham Knight. But let's not look at the PlayStation 3 version of Skyrim, Assassin's Creed Unity, the Halo Master Chief Edition. Frankly, a lot of recent releases have had a lot of problems running well on consoles. But sure, to you, only PCs do that. Windows and Linux PCs, not the Macs, because the same PR people that told you about the frame rate also said the Mac is awesome. Number 4. You say that graphics aren't everything and gameplay is. Now, you may remember this from last week, and you believe this. You believe it to be true. You believe it? No, you don't believe it. You say this every time someone mentions it. Oh look, Skyrim on PC with mods looks damn near photorealistic. It's amazing. This other game looks incredible on PC, like Star Citizen. And you say, well, what's the point in having all those graphics? Gameplay is important. You say that gameplay trumps all. And you know that's a lie. If gameplay was everything, if gameplay was the main thing driving your desire for games, why did you abandon your last console? It still had kick-ass games, it still had games with good gameplay. You could still make games for it. You can make games cheaper now that the graphics were so outdated that making them would have been a less costly process. And yet you abandoned it for a newer platform with higher specs capable of displaying higher detail graphics. And soon, in about a year, you're gonna abandon this one as well because they're gonna release newer ones. Ones that can actually run in full HD at 60 frames a second. And you will. You may say to yourself, no, I won't do that, but you will. Because you like the graphics. You like them more than the gameplay, because if you didn't, you would have gotten an old-ass PC that costs less than $100, installed Linux on it, and just played DOS games. Heck, not even that. You can get a tablet, strap a keyboard to it and a mouse, and you've got yourself something that can run about 1,000 games emulated in DOSBox or various other emulators. But you won't. You'll buy the shiny new $600 PlayStation 4K Neo what's-his-name or the Xbox Scorpio. Number 3. You say that the PC is dead. And you've been saying this ever since the Xbox was released. Because as we all know, Sega, Nintendo, PlayStation, and PC were living peacefully until the Xbox Nation attacked. And since then, the PC is dead. The PC has no games being sold. The PC is not generating profit. The PC will be replaced by tablets. The PC will be replaced by smartphones. It will be replaced by a cat staring at a ceiling. And yet, no, the PC is not dead because consistently the PC has been generating a lot of profit. But not the kind of profit that the leeches who feed off the gaming industry like retail stores count. So it's in their interest to convince people to not buy PCs because they don't get a cut of the weekly subscription of World of Warcraft, which generates more money than every console game put together. Well, yes, it did that at its peak, but even now, it's more profitable by itself than the Nintendo console. And there's also free-to-play games that generate billions, but we don't count those because they're on PC. And the PC is dead. Well, it's been happily dying since Sega was still in the console market. Number 2. You say that PCs are too expensive. And I mean, any PC is too expensive. It's not that they cost more when you buy them because they have better hardware most of the time, but you have to upgrade them constantly. And I mean, you have to upgrade them every year or games will stop working. No, not even that. You have to upgrade them every month. The moment they announce a new processor, you have to get it, you have to upgrade it, you have to change your entire RAM every 2 weeks, you need a new motherboard every Thursday or no new game will work on your system. You know this to be true because you've seen this said time and again on every forum you visit. And I'll give you this. Upfront, gaming PCs are more expensive because they have better hardware than consoles do and are not subsidized by the developer of that platform. But in the long run, let's count a bit. You don't pay for online gaming. You don't pay extra for your games. A keyboard can be used by multiple people to play games on the same system. You don't have to buy multiple controllers. And on a PC, you can actually do more than one thing at a time. Well, yes, newer consoles now have limited multitasking, but while I'm recording this, reading off a script, I'm also watching a video about a dog opening a door by himself to let a puppy in. That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I can do all 3 of these, plus, video production on a PC that isn't all that expensive. I used to do it on an even cheaper PC, a PC whose processor is 9 years old now, that had a motherboard and RAM made in 2005, and did have a somewhat newer video card released when the PlayStation 3 was still cutting edge. And that thing could still run GTA 5. If I didn't have to do video production, there would have been a little need to actually upgrade, because while not recording, most games ran okay. Not great, not on high, but considering how old it was acceptable. And the number 1 sign that you are a console peasant is if you feel insulted by this show, because this show is satire. Most of the shows where I talk like a squeaky mouse are just that. They're a gross exaggeration of an idea. The people I've tried to describe in this show don't actually exist. You could call them strawmen. And yet, if you do actually identify with these concepts, then I may actually have some bad news for you. You are as much of a joke as are the people who believe the PC Master Race is an actual thing and that they are a member of it and they are proud and majestic and so on. It's games, people. It's entertainment. It's art. Stop having such goddamn huge egos that stop you from actually trying to understand this medium. Stop being fanboys, stop being offended by everything, stop being so easily manipulated, and play a goddamn good game once in a while. Heck, even go through a really nice and well-made, trying not to use the term walking simulator, but you still haven't come up with an actual term for that genre.
If you enjoyed this show, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Or, if you thought it was horrible, then share it with your enemies and make them suffer. We shall be your weapon of vengeance. But if you liked what you saw, you could, I don't know, maybe donate, because basically YouTube is horrible at revenue, by using the link in the description, or just buy my book. It's a fantasy book about, well, a lot of stuff. I guarantee it won't suck, and if it does suck, you can find me here and complain about it.